easy way to stay in touch with your leads without a lot of manual effort? Well, drip emails in HubSpot are the way to do that. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a workflow so you can have consistent communication going out to your leads through automated emails. Let's dive in. Drip emails are certainly one of the most popular asks that we see when people use marketing automation. Now, it doesn't mean one size fits all, but for the purposes of this video, I'm going to show you how to take 3 automated emails and schedule them out so that people who had some sort of trigger event can receive those emails in a specific fashion after that event. So for starters, we're going to start in the marketing emails area here, and you will need to have your emails set up and set for automation in order for you to begin. Now, I've got 3 that I've already set up here. We're actually setting up a post-webinar email drip for people who came to a webinar about building a website on HubSpot. And then we've got some additional blogs that we've written that invite people to learn more about that particular topic. So again, keep in mind, drip emails work best when you have content you can share with your contacts versus just asking for a meeting. Now, in this case, I got 3 set up, but if you're new to this, the first place you're going to go here is you're going to create an email and you're going to create an automated email here. So let's click on next. And once you've created that automated email beginning point, you're going to select a template. If you don't have templates saved here, you're going to have access to all the templates in the library, or you can start from scratch. We're going to go ahead and click into our save template here just to see how this comes together. So you'll see that we've got our template set up. We've got our internal name here. The subject line actually gets set in the settings. You're going to set your from, the address. You're going to set your preview text. We're going to have an internal name here. This is the same that's at the top. And then you have your subscription type, which is required in order for you to actually set that email. We do have a different video about subscription types. That's a whole different conversation. But for now, again, we have one called marketing information. We're going to use that. And then if you wanted to link any of this activity to a marketing campaign in HubSpot, if you happen to have the campaign set up, we can choose a campaign here. We actually have website campaign. So we would link that together so we can see all the campaign data in one place. Now in the sending area, since we're set for automation, the only thing we have to do here is save it. So you don't need to select a list or anything. We're just going to save it. So if I were creating this email, I can drag and drop different things in. I can go ahead and use, we've actually got our signature block set up if you wanted to use a save section like that. So again, that all comes together. You would just review and publish that. A subject line is required, but that's how that comes together. So now that I've got the 3 emails already built, we're going to ignore this one that I just showed you for a test. Let's dive into this and actually look at the setup here. We've got it saved, so it's been sent to 0, delivered to 0 because it's just saved for automation. If I click into the edit, you'll see that we've got it set up just like I talked about, but we've got a button here that we're actually going to track the visiting to this particular blog. We've got content, we've got a small CTA, and then again, you can see that this is very valuable. We've got a subject line here, WordPress to HubSpot, what you need to know. Again, all the things I just showed you right here. So we're going to exit out of that because we're already set with those 3 emails. Now we need to go over into our workflow area and actually build the automation that will drip these emails to our contacts. So I've already started this. If you're new in workflows, you're actually going to come to this screen here. And this is Marketing Pro only. We can't do this on anything below Marketing Pro, but we're going to create a workflow and you're going to create it from scratch. So when you do that, it will then bring up a screen that'll allow you to select a workflow trigger. Now, for the purposes of this demonstration, my workflow trigger is actually going to be people who attended, or in this case, people who registered or attended for a webinar that we had about HubSpot websites. So here you'll notice that we've got a group of people that match a list membership. So I'm using a list membership. So if I actually click into this and you can see list membership is this specific webinar or this other webinar here. Or I can also manually enroll contacts if I want to, which means that if somebody happens to be interested in a website, let's say, a week from now, and they didn't attend the webinar, I can still actually have them get this specific drip. So you'll keep in mind that this is going to be important for you to know how someone gets in this workflow, and then if they match that criteria. So right here, we've got this set up. Now our next step is going to be making sure they get the marketing emails. So in order to get marketing emails, you actually have to be set as a marketing contact. If you're not set as a marketing contact, you will not get the emails. So think about this. If you go to all the work to actually have a webinar, you have 100 people that were on that list, you put the list here and then you enroll everybody and no one gets the email, probably because they weren't set as a marketing contact. This is a little kind of a safeguarding just to make sure that happens. So we have this as a trigger, enrolled contact sets as marketing status, and then we save that. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a branch. So a branch means that if they meet this criteria in HubSpot, they go this way, and if they don't, they go the other way. So in this case, I don't want anybody who is in a current sales conversation or is a current customer to get these drip emails. It comes across as a little bit tone deaf. Someone who's currently talking to a HubSpot specialist because they're a customer of ours doesn't need to get the email from me talking about how they should talk to us, because they should talk to their specialist, right? So in this case, we have a branch set up so that the branch name is they're not a customer or opportunity by lifecycle stage. So the lifecycle stage is not opportunity or customer. And we also have a note for our contacts. We do have competitors register for our webinars. You probably do too, but I do not want to nurture those people. So once we do our contact cleanup post webinar, we have people noted as competitor or not. So if the competitor status is yes, I do not want them to be in the strip. So we're going to save that here. Now that gets us some basic setup here of who's actually going to get this first email. So the question then becomes, when does the email get sent? Well, the minute you turn this workflow on, if there was not a delay, it would be sent right then. So if I turned it on at 1:01 p.m. on a Wednesday, the first email would go out shortly after 1:01 p.m. based on the time it took for someone to go through these first two actions. So I want to make sure I control the time of day that this email is sent. So I'm going to introduce a delay action, and this delay action is going to be until 7:54 a.m. Again, if I turn the workflow on at 1:01 p.m. on a Wednesday, the first email will be then sent on 7:54 a.m. on a Thursday. And I'm using the account, which is my account here. We're in Central Time as I record this. It'll be sent at 7:04 Central. Now, if I use the contact time zone, if the IP address or if the way the contact converted, that is saved in the system and we've got their time zone, then it will be sent at their specific time zone. So again, that's something to keep in mind. Now, here we have the email. So here's where the email that we created comes in. So I click on send email, and this is actually going to be the first email that goes out. Then I might choose to delay for 4 days. And then I want to delay so that they only get the emails on a weekday. So we're going to introduce another delay, and then we're going to introduce it has to be 4 days. And then essentially, if this 4 days lands on a Saturday, it'll then delay until the following Monday. So in this case, this makes it easy for you to make sure that you send them on business days. And then since we already sent the first email at 7:54, it will come shortly after that as well. Now, that's going to be the basics of setting this up. Now, do you have to do all these little intricacies? No, you could actually go through here and say, if they didn't meet this, I want to go ahead and just bang one email out, and then 4 days later, another one and another one. But again, best practices say, let's make sure that we give it a little more opportunity for it to perform better. So if I wanted to add the next email in here, I would simply search anything that I added in as these actions, you actually have over here in your actions. So like I mentioned, I set marketing contact status. So if I looked at this, this is where that lives. I introduce a delay. So if I add a delay, that's where that came from. So anything I've already showed you, that's how you access this on the sidebar. So let's go ahead and introduce another email here. And I'm going to click on send email. It's going to go to the enrolled contact. And then here's where those emails that I showed you earlier live. So I'm going to choose to send them the website best practices for the homepage. We're going to click on save. And there's my preview. And now I've got send this email again on whatever day this happens to land on. So let's say since we sent the first email, someone becomes a customer or an opportunity and we don't want them to get the additional drips. We would introduce another branch here. So let's do that here. We're going to branch this into a logic branch. So we're going to say they're not a customer or opportunity. And that is how they continue on. So we're going to add this criteria. We're going to add a life cycle stage here. And we'll say they're none of customer or opportunity. Okay, and we're going to click on save. And there we go. So now we've got they're not a customer. None met means that they remain or that they did meet customer or opportunity. So here we're going to say, let's go ahead and send them another email. So we're going to send this email. Let's choose our next email. It's going to be this website best practices for the homepage, just like we talked about, and so on and so forth. So that's going to be how you actually set all those drips up. So that's a very basic drip campaign here back in the workflows area. This is not the same as sequences. So if you're looking for sequences, go watch that video because that's going to be one-to-one emails. Now, let's talk about reviewing and publishing this. So let's pretend that we have the rest of the entire email drip campaign set up and we're ready to go live. So how many people are actually going to get this when I hit this review and publish button? Well, there's going to be some quality practices that it's going to walk you through here. So first of all, when you go to then enroll people into this workflow, it's going to say, based on the criteria you've set here, here's how many contacts meet this. Okay, so I've got 16. And so you know what? There's a lot more people on this list who are in this list membership than 16. So I probably need to go back and actually look who that is. So if I go back and look at the contacts in the list, I can troubleshoot this. So I think what happened here is I've actually got them as a member of both of these lists. So I needed to introduce an or action, which is actually a common mistake. So we're going to say that they need to be part of these both lists, but we're not going to select both of them here. So let's take this one. We're going to say done. And let's edit that criteria. And we're going to say, or they're a member of this list. So this would actually help us here. So we're going to go website, webinar, And we've got this one. Okay, so we're gonna save. We're gonna close the editor, and now we're gonna review and publish, and we're gonna see if that number changes for us. Okay, we have 405 people. That's much more like it. So sometimes this little kind of checks and balances can keep you just making sure that everything's running okay. So we've got our list membership. I do not want to immediately enroll people as I'm recording this video, but if I wanted to, I'd go ahead and say, yes, let's do this. Or if you're setting this up to drip, let's say I've got this set up pre-webinar and I actually want to say, don't enroll anybody now, only enroll them after, let's say you turn this on. That's going to be when you select no. So again, I've got this set. It's going to go through timing and performance. Let's go to next. So timing and performance, do I want to run this at certain times? Do I want to get notifications when things need a review? I'm always going to say yes on this one. And then if they pass a threshold, so that's going to be something you might set up in your workflow goals. These are all the different connections that this specific workflow is tied to. And then lastly, here's the description. If I wanted to add a description, AI is going to actually make that possible for me. Here's the permissions, campaigns, so on and so forth. So all of this means that I turn the workflow on and then the email starts being delivered, and it delivers just like a marketing email, shows up in the middle of the contact record in that activity, and you've got drip email set up in your HubSpot. So for more tips, tricks, and how-tos, hit that subscribe button. But if this is your first drip campaign and you need some help with setting up, feel free to hit us up with a call, and we'll be happy to chat with you about that as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.